Hello friends, and welcome back to the tutorials on CiliaQ. Well, you remember that we have three different plugins in our CiliaQ package. And last time we talked about CiliaQ Preparator, and it is time to go through CiliaQ Editor together. So basically, after segmenting your image with CiliaQ Preparator, it might be necessary to correct small mistakes, such as cilia that were detected as two or multiple fragments instead of a connected single cilium, or you want to remove a falsely detected object. CiliaQ Editor allows you to make these corrections while documenting each editing step. You should note that it is the best to make as few edits as possible as not to bias your dataset too much. So only make these corrections that you really feel like they are necessary. Additionally, you should keep your editing approach consistent. For example, if you choose to remove falsely detected objects in one of the images, you should do this for all the images. And if there are a lot of errors present in your images, it might be useful to try a different segmentation method first and then go through the CiliaQ editor. So let's go back to Fiji and see how it is done. In order to use CiliaQ Editor, you first need to open your image. And if you remember, last time with CiliaQ Preparator, we prepared these images. And you can open the image by drag and drop into Fiji. And now you have your image. So there are different tools provided in Fiji that you can use them basically. And the first one is channel tools. So you go to image, color, and then to channel tool. And here in this tool, you can see how many channels, for example, you have. And make sure to choose the composite option here, because then you can see all the channels at once. And if you simply don't like to see one of the channels, you can just unselect one of them or more. But it is important to know that even if you want to unselect the other channels, you should have the channels that you have as segmented channel and the unsegmented channel of the segmented channel. Okay, let's go through this text file here that you can see what are the segmented channel here. And from the same channel, there's a duplicate, which is unsegmented. And you should have both of these. It is also helpful if you have the DOPI channel selected here, because then you can see if a cilium is far away from the nucleus, then it's most probably a falsely detected object. So here in the image, you can see that there are two bars down here, C and Z. C represent the number of channel, and you can select different channels basically by scrolling over that. And you can see that there is a Z bar that is showing the Z stack that you have recorded your image. So here in the channel tools, you can also change the color of your channel by going to more. First, you need to be in the same channel that you want to change the color. And I also always prefer to change the color to cyan so that I can see it better. Now, if you go to image, adjust brightness and contrast, you can select the settings in a way that you can see the cilium better. So it is recommended to only go through the maximum bar here. And if you zoom in, you can see when you can see the whole structure of the cilium. Okay, now if we go to the second channel, the unsegmented channel, and if we change the color to magenta, for example, and if I turn off channel 1, you can see that there are signals from the cilia in the second channel, in the unsegmented channel as well. And if you are happy with the brightness and contrast in your image, then you can easily go through the next step, which is actually the real editing. So you go to plugin, you go to CiliaQ and CiliaQ Editor. So here you should choose the segmented channel, which for us was channel 1, and unsegmented channel, which for us is the second one. You click OK, and you wait for CiliaQ Editor to pop up, and you can see what options we have here. This option will add something to your image. This will remove something from your image. This will undo whatever you have done last, and you can just undo them. This will finish your analysis and save your editings. And if you're not happy with your editings, you can just cancel everything by choosing abort analysis and discard editing. So how to edit your images? It's actually very easy. It's nothing to do, basically. I recommend you to zoom into the image, and this way you can see in what part of the image, what cilia you have. And so by scrolling over the Z stack, you can see the different cilia and which one needs to be edited. But I will give you a hint how to see all of them in one plane and how to edit them easier. This is what I usually do. I go to stack and then Z project. And by clicking OK, you can see an image with all the planes that are in your image. So you can basically see all of the cilia that you have in the image. Now I will zoom in the same way that I zoomed into my image, and I can see which cilium needs to be edited. So as I said, try to do as less editings as possible. And basically, because I can see that all of them are kind of fine, then I will go through the image and find one that is not okay and needs to be edited. For example, this one. So I will go to my main image and I will search for that cilium, which is here. Now let's zoom into this image, and these are raw options that Fiji has provided for you. You can choose one of them and easily in the image draw around the cilium or the object that you want to add something to, and then select this option, add selection, and you can see that it's there. And once in one plane you added something, you can be okay with it and you don't need to edit it in the next plane as well. But let's look for a falsely detected object, which is very obvious here. And also in the main image. So again, I will use one of the ROI options. I will go around the object that I do not want to have, and then I will choose remove selected. And again, so note that you should go through the Z plane and you should remove it in each step because it's important to delete everything in all the planes. Otherwise, you will still have it in one plane and it will be detected as an object that you do not want to have. So I will remove. I know that it might be annoying, but you have the shortcuts here, and you can just easily press F2 and delete that that selected object. And I think 2 more. And all right, so then you go through the Z-plane to check if you actually deleted everything, just to make sure. And yes, okay. So it is as easy as you can see here. Basically, you just check if there is anything wrong with the cilia that you have, if there is anything detected wrong, or if there is a cilia that needs to be edited, basically. If there are cilium that are connected to each other, you will just easily go and use the ROY option. You will just draw and you will just separate those cilia. So let's just imagine that we are happy with the editings that we have done, and close the Z project because I want to check it once more that I have done whatever I wanted to do. So I will go to Image, Stack, Z project once more, click OK, and all right. Before I forget, there is also another option that makes it easier for you to edit the images. And it's for scrolling over the Z bar down here, and you can just press Alt and scroller in your mouse, and then it will just easily scroll over the Z stack. And you can use the other shortcut, which is F2, for removing it in different planes. After your editing is done, if you see many smaller unciliary detected objects in your image, like what you can see here, then you don't need to delete them all manually. You can just select deleting them by their size in the next step using the plugin CiliaQ. Let's just imagine that it is all I wanted to do. So I will close this and I will easily say finish analysis and save editings and click OK. Then you can see the output files in the same folder that you have your image there. So you can see that the output files from the CiliaQ editor has this ed ending there. So I have this TIFF file, which is the image that has all the editings inside. And I have this text file that you can see what I have done. So I added something to one cilium and I removed those falsely detected objects here. And it is documented. And that's all. That's all you need to do for CiliaQ Editor. You just need to be unbiased about it and do what you think is best for your dataset. Okay, so now that we're done with CiliaQ Editor and we know how to edit our images, next time I will come back with CiliaQ plugin and I will show you how to analyze your images and how to choose the best settings for that. Until then, take care.